All right, welcome back. I've posted a few videos that just didn't make it on. I'm gonna have to try to speed this up. I think that the videos, sometimes the length of time that takes to load, or just because they're been a little longer, they haven't processed. Anyway, so what I want to talk today about is how this pandemic worked out for America, the world in general. If we go back and you look at news articles, let's say starting in September of 2019, that's like pretty much like when all the idea for shutting down the country started. You can kind of see, not just this country, a lot of countries. Okay, let's look at one thing. Let's look at China. If we go back to September, Hong Kong was uprising, and there wasn't any slowing down. There wasn't the police slowing them down. It wasn't the government sending the military in. They weren't going to have a repeat of Tiananmen Square because all the eyes of the world were watching. Now, during Tiananmen Square, this was stuff that, the news would cover, and it would be, it would go a day or two through the filter of propaganda before it was actually publicized or put on the internet or put on the front page of the newspaper. You can't do that today because everybody carries one of these and they can instantaneously get it out there. So you can't manipulate as much as they used to. So they didn't want to have a repeat of that. Now, at the same time, you had populist movements all across the world. The globalists, of course, the people, the family, the Rothschilds, of the world, the central banks, the deep state, whatever you want to call them. They got so many names. They're in everything. Needed something to control the fact that wealth, believe it or not, I mean, it's hard to believe, but wealth has been trickling down, has been distributed. Now, of course, on the top, this affects them because it's their wealth that's trickling down to common people. Now, poverty line have been going, so poverty has gone like this, and people's wealth has been going like that. So poverty was declining as people's wealth was going up. They didn't like that. That didn't help. And what precipitated that was this movement, the populist movement, the movement of the idea of like, okay, we have more wealth, we have more independence, we need less government. And so what do people do when power is being stripped slowly? They tighten their grip. It's common sense. It's like a jealous husband. If his wife is always constantly going out, he becomes more jealous. He's like, okay, I'm gonna make sure she take away her phone, take away her bank account, take away her car, whatever anything to keep her from going out and having an independent life. We're like the wives in the deep state, central bank, whatever you want to call them, Hindenburg, they want to call them central banks, the Illuminati, I don't know. They're like the jealous husband, and they're like, no, you have too much freedom, and we need to strip that away so that we have more control of you. But this was in Italy. There was a movement in Italy that was growing, squashed. Hong Kong, squashed. In Australia, squashed. Brazil, squashed. Peru, squashed. I mean, they were rising. The people were rising up, and there was a populist movement. All of that gone. And of course, America, we have a very strong populist movement, and it has been corrupted. And And I'm going to go in a different direction from that. But you could just all look this up. It was all across the country. The only countries that it seems like it did, the populist movement only got stronger, and you got to look at the policies implemented, were like Poland and Hungary and some of the Eastern Bloc countries that defied the EU. Their populist movement obviously got stronger. But again, that is in deep contrast to the rest of the world. I mean, you know, you just have to filter through the fake news and get the real story yourself. But you can see how this pandemic, this idea of making the flu deadly and having scientists, economists, government, the medical profession, the ultra strong, deep pharmaceutical companies, deep in the pockets of all their lobbyist movement is so strong. They're like tobacco and oil. Those are the three strongest ones. And you know, these doctors that they had with their models, you just move one number this way, you move one number that way, and the models will explode. Now, you know, there's kids out there. I watched a few videos from high school students who came up with models themselves that were better than the models that the government put out. And it's just like a shield, you know? We're so used to getting misinformation when we're told that this information is undisputable. You cannot dispute this information. You cannot go against it because it is coming straight from the people you must trust. We are there with the shield. Like, yeah. Okay? So, because our brains already have been programmed. We've been programmed already. I mean, it's just, we can't help it. The only time you wake up, it's like there are people out there like, I don't want to say like myself, but yes, like me. I'm not plugged into, I don't watch TV. I don't watch news. I mean, I watch a couple of shows, maybe old shows from the 70s, without the PC culture, not the subliminal messaging that they used to put out in the shows that they have now, and they don't have any of that. And I watch those because I can't watch programs made today because they're telling me how to feel, how to act, what to respond to, you know. And now when they get the commercials are now telling me what's acceptable, what isn't acceptable, how to dress, what to wear, who to talk to, what coffee to buy, what, you know, like, it's just, you know, and if you don't do it, you're stigmatized as someone who's, I don't know, you want to say an anarchist? Say an anarchist. But anyway, going off track here with that, just like celebrities and athletes and anybody in the sector that supports these people, that support this agenda because they're told to, otherwise their money is turned off, that faucet is turned off. So of course they have to go along with the plan because, you know, those people have a modicum of power that they want to exert on their minions, which is you people who follow them. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this video in 2 because I can't make it go longer than 10 minutes because it just simply won't load for me. But I'm going to do part 2. But please, leave comments, suggestions on stuff to talk about, anything that you think is, you find objectionable or you think I lack knowledge on. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, not a scientist, not an economist, not an educator, not any of those things. I'm just have better perception than most, and I think that have these feelings and this is a natural thing in humans. We have this feeling where since the dawn of human existence, we've had this, it's like a sixth sense in us. And my sixth sense is telling me this is all bullshit. But I'll be back with part 2 of this. Stay tuned.